Grace and peace to you, and welcome back to my second video on quadratic equations. And today we'll look at formula method. This is Donald Siame, author of Hidden Mathematical Genius Within Revealed. Okay, so we are on formula method, and first thing what you should understand is that a quadratic equation is in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So before you start answering any question, make sure that it is in this form. Okay, and the formula, the quadratic formula method, the formula is given by is x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So that is the quadratic formula method. Okay, so what you should do is that when you have a question, first you need to determine the values for a, b and d, c. Then you just substitute them in the formula. Okay, so the first question there is 2x squared minus 3x minus 9 is equal to 0. So we can see that it is already in a quadratic form. Okay, so 2x squared minus 3x minus 9 is equal to 0. So first thing, we determine the values. So a is the coefficient of x squared, and in this case it is 2. b, it is the coefficient of x, and in this case it is minus 3. And c, that is the term independent of x, that is minus 9. So c is equal to minus 9. Okay, then we go to the formula. So x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, so we have x is equal to b, we have negative 3. So we have minus, and where there is b is negative 3. So negative 3 plus or minus the square root. Then b, where there is b is negative 3, and we are squaring it. So we need to put it in brackets. So we are going to have minus 3, then squared, and minus 4. Then a, that is 2. Then c, that is minus 9. Then all over 2 times a. A is 2. Okay. Then you say x is equal to, here we have a minus, and the minus are in the brackets there. So negative multiplied by negative is positive. So you get 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 3 squared, that is negative 3 multiplied by negative 3, you get 9. Okay, then here don't go straight to minus, because here we have minus 4 multiplied by 2, you get minus 8, and minus 8 multiplied by minus 9, you get positive 72. So here it will be plus 72. Okay, then all over 2 multiplied by 2 is, yes, 4. Okay, so you have x is equal to 3 plus or minus the square root of, what is 9 plus 72? Yes, 81. So we have 81, then over 4. Now here we have plus or minus, meaning there are two possible solutions. There is one for addition and the other one for subtraction. So we are going to have x is equal to 3 plus, what's the square root of each one? 9. So 3 plus 9, then over 4, or x is equal to 3 minus 9 over 4. Okay, so x is equal to what is 3 plus 9? 3 plus 9 is 12, and 12 divided by 4, you get 3. So x is equal to 3, or x is equal to what is 3 minus 9? 3 minus 9, you get negative 6, that is minus 6 over 4. Okay, so we can see that that fraction is not simplified, so we need to simplify it. So what is the highest common factor for 6 and 4? Yes, it is 2. So 2 in 6 is 3, so you get minus 3 over, and 2 in 4 is 2. And we don't leave answers as improper fractions. You either leave it as a decimal or mixed fraction. So x is equal to 3, or x is equal to, here we say 2 in 3, that is 1. So we have negative 1, then the remainder is 1, then over 2. Okay, so those are the two possible solutions. X is equal to 3, or x is equal to minus 1 over 2. Okay, then we go to B. B, we have x squared minus 3x is equal to 10. So we can see that this one is not in quadratic expression form, quadratic equation form. So what we do is this should be, the right hand side of the equation should have a 0. So meaning the 10 here should come this side. Here it is positive, this side it will be a negative, a minus. So we are going to have x squared minus 3x. The 10 here is positive, this side is going to be a minus. So minus 10 is equal to, then there you are going to have a 0. So now it is in quadratic form. So the next step is to determine the values for a, b, and d, c. So a is the coefficient of x squared. So what is a there? Yes, a is 1. Then b is the coefficient of x, that is minus 3. Then c is the coefficient, is the term independent of x, and the term independent of x there is minus 10. So we are going to use those values to find the value for x. So you know that the quadratic equation formula is x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so x is equal to, so you substitute, you have negative, then b is negative 3, so minus 3, then plus or minus the square root of b is negative 3, so negative 3 in brackets, squared, minus 4, a is 1, and the c is minus 10. Then all over 2 multiplied by a is 1. Okay, so we have x is equal to, so here a negative multiplied by negative, you get positive. So that is 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 3 squared. Yes, that is 9. Here we have minus 4 multiplied by 1 is minus 4. And minus 4 multiplied by minus 10, you get positive 40. So plus 40 over 2 multiplied by 1 is 2. Okay, so again here we have two possible solutions, one for addition and the other one for subtraction. So we are going to have 3 plus, what is 9 plus 40? 9 plus 40 is 49. And what's the square root of 49? That is 7. So we have 3 plus 7, then over 2, or x is equal to 3 minus 7 and over 2. Okay, so x is equal to 3 plus 7. Yes, 3 plus 7 is 10. And 10 divided by 2. Yes, 5. So x is equal to 5, or x is equal to 3 minus 7. Yes, we get minus 4. Then divide by 2. Yes, that's minus 2. So x is equal to 5, or x is equal to minus 2. That was B. We go to C. So C we have 11x plus 3 is equal to 4x squared. Okay, 11x plus 3 is equal to 4x squared. Okay, so we can see that this is not in quadratic form. So that's the first thing to do. We need to express it in quadratic form. So first thing, we need to start with the term with power of 2, that is with x squared, then followed by the term with x, then followed by the term independent of x. Okay, so it's just a matter of getting these terms here to this side of the equation. Okay, so we are going to have 4x squared, 11x, here it is positive, this side it will be a minus, so minus 11x, and here it's plus 3, this side is supposed to be minus 3, so we have minus 3, then equal to 0. The next step, we can now determine the values for A, B, and D, C. Okay, so A is the coefficient of x squared, so that is 4 there. Then B, the coefficient of x, and that is minus 11 there. Then C, we have the term independent of x, that is minus 3 there. Okay, then we use the formula, the quadratic formula method. The quadratic formula is given as x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, then we substitute the values. So x is equal to, we have minus, then b is a negative 11, so you put it in brackets, a negative 11, then we have plus or minus the square root of b is negative 11 squared, then minus 4, a is 4, and c is minus 3. Okay, all over 2 multiplied by a is 4. Okay, so x is equal to, here we have negative multiplied by negative, that is positive, so we're going to have 11 plus or minus, then the square root of, what is negative 11 squared? Yes, you get 121. Minus 4 times 4, that is minus 16, and minus 16 multiplied by minus 3, yes, minus positive 48, so plus 48, then all over 2 times 4 is 8. So we have x is equal to 11 plus or minus the square root of, what is 121 plus 48? Yes, you get 169. So we have 169 in over 8. Okay, so we're supposed to have two possible solutions. So x is equal to 11 plus, or what's the square root of 169? Yes, that is 13. So we have 13 over 8, or x is equal to 11 minus 13 over 8. Okay, so x is equal to, what is 11 plus 13? Yes, that is 24. And 24 divided by 8, 24 divided by 8, you get 3. So x is equal to 3. Or what is 11 minus 13? Yes, you get minus 2 over 8. Okay, so that is x is equal to negative 2 over 8. Now that fraction, yes, it's a proper fraction, but it is not simplified. So we have x is equal to 3, or x is equal to, so what is the highest common factor for 2 and 8? Yes, that is 2. So we have negative 2 in 2 is 1, 2 in 8 is 4. Okay, so we have x is equal to 3, or x is equal to negative 1 over 4. So this is how you calculate quadratic equations using a formula method. Thank you so much for your time.